You're just looking at a former Trump supporter back a woke, extreme, far leftist for mayor of New York. And you might be wondering, well, was it not enough that the terrorists destroyed London? Apparently not. They want to destroy New York. What do you think? And why? Because he hates Israel more than he loves America. He is what I call a single policy voter. If someone hates Jews, they get Coco's vote because he's Israel first, not America first, which is focusing on America. This isn't just hypocrisy. This is idiotic streamers on steroids. And it's not just going on in the United States. It's going on in Israel, Europe, India, Brazil, pretty much everywhere. And this poison has a name, Wokesm. So I'm about to break this all down to you. The woke mind virus and what it has called Wokesm. You see, in Israel, you got liberal Jews, not the conservative ones, not the Zionists, that bite the hands of the tough men and women who protect them. Okay? It's does not make sense, I understand. In Europe, you have woke politicians who ignore history. These are the same European people that forget that the Arabs took over, raped, and pillaged Spain in the 7-11, and Eastern Europe in the 1400s until like the 1800s. Do you think appeasement's going to stop that expansionist mindset? In India, woke elites spit on the Hindu tradition that built their civilization. They call it oppressive while defending fanatics who literally call for Hindu extermination. These are terrorists that they're supporting. Even in the Arab world, it's happening. Woke elites hijack the faith, distort it, and use it to push gender theory, open borders, and weak leadership. Even Muslims aren't happy with this, many of them. Wokeism doesn't stop at faith. It focuses on anything sacred. Family, faith, patriotism, masculinity. They want every strong tribe turned into a herd of anxious individuals on Chinese Communist Party TikTok. But here's the twist. Who's benefiting from all this chaos in the world? There's one country. And before anyone throws around the usual scapegoat, let me just say this very plainly to the low IQ. It's not the Jews. In fact, liberal Jews are a bigger threat to Israel than Hamas, if you ask me, because they fund NGOs that erase borders, empathize with these terror sympathizers, and hand Israel's enemy the moral high ground. It's not 15 million Jews versus a billion enemies. It's like 1 million Jews, maybe. I don't know. Fighting for survival and 14 million that are opening up the henhouse to the fox with their globalist groupthink. Same in England. You elect a mayor who sympathizes with groups chanting maybe death to Israel, and then you're surprised when your city is destroyed, trashed, and collapsed, and British girls are getting groomed. Same in New York, where woke leaders are busy funding gender surgeries for minors, while Hamas sells organized protests in broad daylight because we're idiots. So again, who's benefiting from this? There's only one country that bans wokeism to this extent, bans drag shows, promotes tough men, and laughs while we collapse. China and Beijing, the Chinese Communist Party, doesn't allow LGBTQ propaganda for kids. They promote Confucian family values, masculine soldiers, and rigid tradition, while American exports rainbow drone strikes and feminist Pentagon memos. China weaponized wokeism, not for themselves, but for us. Divide, let's say, the Europeans, weaken the Jews, turn the Hindus against their own civilization, confuse the Arabs. You see, the Chinese Communist Party is playing like 4D chess. They're playing a long game, like a 1,000-year war, as Ted Cruz said. And we're twerking in clown shoes on the Chinese Communist TikTok app. So while we're arguing about the pronouns, they're building AI weapons and systems, they're buying African minerals, and locking down supply chains for the next 100 years. And guess what? They don't even need to invade. We're just completely welcoming them in. They just needed us to hate ourselves. Think about it. They just need us to hate ourselves. So if you're wondering why everyone feels upside down, why maybe Christian kids are getting taught to apologize for their gender, why Jewish schools get bomb threats while pro-Hamas marchers are called peaceful. And we're not even talking about the degeneracy of the homosexuality allowed in some of these synagogues. It's the woke mind virus. Why are Hindu temples under attack while woke mobs scream about Bahrain privilege? Why even Muslims who love their country are labeled Islamophobic if they speak against extremism? It's because this is a civilizational sabotage campaign. And China is winning. The Chinese Communist Party, they are winning. And if we don't wake up, if we don't reject the woke mind virus, as Elon Musk referred to it, and unite across faith and tribe, we'll lose this war without a single shot fired. It is important you reject wokeism if you care about your freedoms. Embrace reality. Defend civilization before it's too late. Because the fact of the matter is that it's not just Israel. It's not one state take Israel, they're done. No. That group of people that want to take Israel have also taken Spain and Eastern Europe, as I mentioned earlier. It is an expansionist mindset. It is expansionist. They stayed in Europe for 700 years. They didn't leave Europe because they wanted to. They left Europe by force. They were going to go further into Europe. They got stopped basically by the French, just like in Eastern Europe. We're talking about hundreds of years here. Okay, this is an expansionist mindset. So if you think it stops at Israel, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, that's just a fact. That said, when we have Jews that abandon the Torah, and I say this to the Jewish people, when you have Jews that abandon the Torah, it's like you're abandoning the protection of God, Hashem. It is important that we reject this homosexuality in the synagogues. It is disgusting, it is vulgar, and quite frankly, I find it highly disrespectful. Okay? It is important we lean in to our tradition, our family values. And one last thing, if you're in Brazil, India, Europe, the Middle East, or even America, and you're wondering, why should we help liberate Iran? Iran right now is a hostile country, right? To Europe, to America, to Israel. But imagine, because from 1948 to 1979, the Middle East was largely peaceful, right? There was a revolution in Iran. And now it's a hostile government, right? Hostile to Europe, hostile to America, and Israel. But imagine if it is liberated and there's a friendly regime in Iran that has a good relationship with Israel, a good relationship with Europe and America. Imagine how amazing that is. And if you think that's not important, wait until the Chinese Communist Party decide to go on offense. Then we will appreciate a liberated Iran that's helpful to America, a liberated Israel that is helpful to Europe. Subscribe to this page. Please join the movement and share this message with your friends.